I was dreaming. For a long time, when I was dreaming, I sometimes became aware that I was dreaming now. This time was no different. For some reason, I was alone in a dimly lit, uninhabited station. I thought it was a very gloomy dream. Suddenly, an announcement was made in the station by a man's voice. It said, "A train will be coming soon. If you get on the train, you'll be in a terrible situation." It was a meaningless announcement. Soon a train entered the station. It was not a train at all, but more like the monkey train you often see at amusement parks with several pale men and women sitting in a row. I thought it was a strange dream, but I decided to take the train because I wanted to see how much fear my dream could cause in me. If I was really scared and couldn't stand it, I would wake up. I was able to wake up freely only when I was aware that I was dreaming. I sat in the third seat from the back of the train. The air around me was so warm that I doubted if I was really dreaming. It felt so real that I wondered if I was really dreaming. The train started to move. I was anxious and excited, wondering what was going to happen. As soon as the train left the platform, it entered a tunnel. A purplish light was shining suspiciously in the tunnel. I thought to myself, this view of the tunnel is like a playground from my childhood. The view of this tunnel was just like that of the thriller car I rode in the amusement park when I was a child. This train is also a monkey train, so it's not scary at all, just bringing up images from my past memories. Just then, another announcement was made. Next, we are going to make a live fish. Make a live fish. Sashimi? As I was thinking, I suddenly heard a shrill scream from behind me. I turned around to see a man sitting at the very back of the train, surrounded by 4 small people clad in what looked like rags. Upon closer inspection, I saw that the man had been ripped open with a blade and was really a live fish. A strong odor pervaded the area, and the man continued to scream so loudly that it hurt my ears. The man's body was being disemboweled one after another, his bloody organs strewn about. A pale woman with long hair was sitting right behind me, but she seemed unconcerned by the fuss that was soon to follow as she silently stared ahead. I was surprised at the unexpected turn of events and began to wonder if this was really a dream, and I was afraid to wake up until I saw more. When I came to, the man in the very back seat was gone, but there was still some reddish-black blood and what looked like a mass of flesh. The woman behind me was still staring at a point with a blank expression on her face. The woman behind me was still staring at a point with a blank expression on her face. The announcement was made. Then 2 dwarfs appeared and began to gouge out the eyes of the woman behind her with what looked like a jagged spoon. Her face, which had been expressionless until then, turned into a terrible expression of pain, and she screamed so loudly that my eardrums burst right behind me. Her eyeballs popped out of her eyes. The smell of blood and sweat was intoxicating. I was so scared that I was bending forward, shaking. I decided it was time to move on. I couldn't go on any longer. Moreover, according to the order, it was my turn to be the third one sitting next. I tried to wake up from my dream, but I wondered what kind of announcement would be made to me. So I decided to check it and then run away from the place. The announcement came on. Next is minced meat, minced meat. It was the worst. I could easily imagine what would happen, so I concentrated my nerves and tried to wake up from the dream. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, dream. Usually, I succeeded in this way by thinking strongly like this. Suddenly I heard a mechanical, whirring sound. This time, a dwarf got on my lap and brought a strange machine-like object close to me. I was afraid that it was probably a tool to make mincemeat out of me, so I closed my eyes and thought hard. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. The whirring sound became louder and louder, and I felt the wind pressure on my face, and just when I thought it was over, it became quiet. I managed to get out of the nightmare. My whole body was soaked with sweat, and tears were streaming from my eyes. I finally calmed down when I got out of bed and went to the kitchen, where I drank a lot of water. I told myself that although it was horribly real, it was only a dream after all. The next day, I told all my friends at school about the dream, but they were only amused. It was only a dream after all. 4 years passed. As a university student, I had completely forgotten about this event and was working part-time. Then one night, it suddenly started. Next is the gouging. It was from that scene. I immediately remembered that it was that dream. It was exactly the same as the last time. Two dwarfs were gouging out the woman's eyeballs. I knew it was bad, so I immediately started to think, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. This time I can't wake up. Wake up, dream, wake up, wake up. Next is minced meat. It's finally getting dangerous. It's getting closer and closer. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It suddenly became quiet. I thought I had managed to escape, and was about to open my eyes when I heard the voice of the announcer clearly. Are you going to run away again? When I opened my eyes, I had already completely woken up from the dream and was in my room. The last announcement I heard was definitely not a dream. I heard it in the real world. What in the world did I do? Since then, I have not had that dream yet, but the next time I do, I am sure that I will die of a heart attack or something. In this world, it's a heart attack, but in the other world, it's minced meat.